the scriptures are going to show you be fruitful and multiply. Now, the scriptures that most individuals use to push the notion that there will not be sex in the kingdom of heaven is here in Matthew, the 22nd chapter. All right, now we're going to deal with this briefly, and then we're going to get into the lesson. This is when Yahweh Shai is speaking to the Sadducees. All right, now it's key to understand that the Sadducees had some very, very distinctive beliefs. All right, let's click on the Sadducees. All right, and let's understand who they were. Okay, as you can see here, Sadduceos. All right, the Sadducees. We hear about the different sects or the different camps that were around during the time Yahweh Shai came on the scene. You had the Sadducees, the Essenes, the Pharisees, okay, the priest, scribes. You had particular groups or camps of Israelites who held particular beliefs. All right, when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, okay, he gathered from amongst these particular sects. Right, some of the believers on Yahweh Shai left these particular camps and followed him. All right, but as they followed him, they had to put off, a lot of their beliefs. They had to put off their beliefs and follow him and become new. Now, when you deal with a Sadducee, it means the righteous. All right, it says a religious party. All right, at the time of Yahweh Shai among the Jews. These are Jews of the circumcision. Okay, who were ultimately raised in the customs. All right, but there was different beliefs, just as you have different camps today. There were different camps around at the time that Yahweh Shai came on the scene. And in this particular chapter, he's dealing with a group, all right, who only believed in the Torah, and they would not deviate from it. All right, they denied that oral law was a revelation of to the Most High by to the Israelites. They deemed written law alone, all right, to ultimately be the authority. And they denied, all right, the following doctrines: resurrection of the body. All right, they didn't believe in the resurrection of the body. Okay, now we can go to, scriptures like Hebrews 10, I believe 10 and 35. It tell you real quick. Let's get that real quick. Hebrews, the 11th chapter. And 35. All right. And we know, particular men, children, women, there's particular scripture where we see people raised from the dead. Okay. That's a form of being resurrected, right? Hebrews 11 and 35, women receive, all right, their dead raised to life again. I believe it was Elijah or Elisha who raised, all right, a child who was pretty much on the dead. All right, he raised them up. Okay, there's various examples in the scriptures of people being raised from the dead. Okay, so being raised from the dead is clearly in the scriptures. All right, but this particular camp or sect or party, okay, they didn't believe in that. All right, they were stone cold against. They made the argument that you cannot find the resurrection of the body, all right, in the Torah. So therefore, it was a doctrine that they denied. See, they also denied, all right, immortality of the soul. All right, we know and understand that when you die, all right, the spirit in you, okay, which is tied to your soul, it lives forever. It goes back to the Most High. It's an eternal, all right, power. It never dies. You can't kill a spirit. See, but they didn't believe in that. See, they also didn't believe in the existence of spirits and angels. All right. They didn't believe in predestination. All right. And they affirmed that there was free will. So they had a lot going on. Okay. It says a heretical, all right, Israelite. All right, heresies, different doctrines, you see. And let's see what this says here. So it's key to understand what's being talked about here and what Yahweh Shai, all right, is dealing with here. He's dealing with a group of people who mock all right, the existence of a resurrection, or anyone being raised from the dead. They don't deal with that. Okay, so here's a question they're asking him. We'll read through it. Matthew 22 and 23. The same day came to him, all right, the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection. All right, and we know and understand you have the resurrection of the dead, where someone can be raised up directly from the dead, come out of the grave. All right, and then you have the final resurrection, where the Lord is going to raise some out of the grave, but ultimately for the purpose of being restored back to our original estate under Yahweh Shai. All right, and that's where salvation comes, when we'll ultimately be resurrected, back to our original estate, from this dead estate, literally going into the chariot and, being given those new bodies for the purpose now, all right, of coming down and ruling on earth in that perfected body, as we'll show you. All right, there's a final resurrection, all right, which is, in Revelation, the 20th chapter, it's called the first resurrection. See, where the sons of God will be able to get those bodies, okay, and live forever as Yahweh Shai does, and then come to the earth and operate and rule on earth in that body. This is what's been promised to us. This is what we're fighting for, okay? But this particular sect or group said there is no resurrection. So they asked him a question, all right? And we could read the question. I'll just read through it real quick. But when you deal with the answer, that's what we really want to deal with. Saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, and his brother should marry his wife and raise up seed to his brother, all right, pretty much that's the Levariate marriage. All right, you can go into that. Now there were seven, all right, now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, all right, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third also unto the 7th. Okay, and the last also, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, all right, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Okay, just sitting up, thinking of weird questions, try to trip Yahweh Shai up, coming with a tongue twister to think that they're doing something. But here it is. This is what Yahweh Shai answered. Let's just deal with it. Yahweh Shai answered unto them, saying, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures. Now, first of all, they don't believe in the resurrection. Okay, you can look them up. If anyone finds any information on them not believing in the resurrection, you can post it in the comment board. All right, because you have to look things up on your own as well. Don't just take our word for it. Look up the Sadducees, some of their beliefs. And if you find something, pertaining to that the body may be able to, be edified off of, because people read comments. I'm a comment reader, and I learn from comments at times. They don't believe in the resurrection. So here they are asking a question about the resurrection. So Yahweh Shai says, Ye do err, all right, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given into marriage, but are as the angels of the Most High. All right, so let's first deal with this. All right, this is where individuals say, well, see, in the kingdom it said, all right, we're not going to be, given the marriage. All right, now the kingdom of heaven itself is going to take place on earth. We're going to set up ultimately, as the scriptures say, on earth as it is in heaven, right? So in the resurrection, what is the resurrection that he's referring to? All right, let's get the book of 1 Corinthians. All right. Now, this is twofold, because in one sense, when you die, all right, and your spirit goes back to the spirit world, all right, you're in the heavens, but you're in a new body. All right, you're in that new body. Let's get 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, and the first verse. Is twofold. Let's get one aspect of it. All right, here in 2 Corinthians 5:1. For we know that when this earthly tent we live in is taken down, when you die, that is when we die and leave this earthly body, right? We have a house in heaven. And that house in heaven, all right, is that body. See? So when you die, all right, you go back to the spiritual realm. You're in that body. All right. Now, what are you doing in the heaven? How does it work? What does it look like? What, I can't tell you all of that. Paul said when he, was stoned and his spirit returned to the spirit world for a minute, he saw things that he couldn't even utter. He couldn't utter it in earthly words. So I don't know what's going on. Like, even when we deal with Yahweh Shai sitting at the right hand, is he just sitting there, blinking? I mean, no, he's actively, fulfilling the duty of a high priest, making intercession for us, a whole operation going on. Okay. And we know that the souls of the elect are under the altar. So that's a whole, the spirit world is a whole, function that we ourselves, I can't break that down to you, but I'm reading to you what the scriptures say. Okay. We have an eternal body in the heavens. See, it's just that we have yet to be able, as, sons of God, to have those eternal bodies and come down on earth and rule in them. We have to, go through our straight gate and deal. And then ultimately we'll get to have that function. All right. Because those are going to be extraterrestrial bodies. All right. Spiritual bodies that are able to do things. All right. That humans do. We're going to show you all of that. So when you die, all right, when you leave this, this earthly body, or you have a house in heaven, an eternal body made for us by the Most High himself and not by human hands. All right. Meaning that body that's up in the heavens, it wasn't born from a fatherland with a mother. Okay. Ultimately, it was born directly of the Most High, right? Through Yahweh Shai, which was the first spirit created. Then you have the first fruit spirits. All right. We grow weary in our present bodies. We long to put on our heavenly bodies like new clothing. See? For we will put on heavenly bodies. We will not be spirits without bodies. It's just not like we talk about the spirit returns to the Most High, but it returns to the Most High when it goes into the spiritual realm, it goes into that heavenly body. See? It goes into that heavenly body. All right. And again, what it's doing and how it looks and what's happening, I can't tell you. All right. But we know there's order in the heavens, in the spiritual realm. OK, while we live in these earthly bodies, we groan and sigh. But it is not that we want to die and get rid of these bodies. All right. Because we know we have to do the work. But sometimes you do struggle with the mind that you would rather be in the spirit world. All right. But and get rid of these bodies that clothe us. Rather, we want to put on our new bodies so that these dying bodies will be swallowed up of life. The Most High himself have prepared us this as a guarantee. He has given us, and as a guarantee has given us, all right, his Holy Spirit, all right, which gives us an understanding of, wow, we're going to have those bodies and rule on earth. But when you go back into the spiritual realm, we know, let's get the book of, was that Ecclesiastes 12. Okay. Because there's, different forms of resurrection, this is Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. This body dies, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. Okay. That is a form of resurrection where ultimately your spirit, goes back into the spiritual realm. All right. You have a resurrection where someone can be raised from the dead, but you also have the final resurrection. All right. That we preach about, where let's get 1 Corinthians 15. All right. And 21. Let's see here. Start at 20. But in fact, Yahweh Shai has been raised from the dead. He is the first of a great harvest, right, of all who have died, the elect. We've had to come into the earth and die, but he was the first to be raised from the dead, you see. And then he returned back to the right-hand side of the Father, all right, to give us the Holy Spirit. Through that, death, burial, resurrection, that blood, we now have access back to the Father. Okay. And we have, a chance through a grace period to get back to that heavenly estate that we once had. Okay. So you see that just as death came in the world through a man, now the resurrection from the dead has begun through another man, which is Yahweh Shai. Death came through Adam. Resurrection of the dead has begun through Yahweh Shai. Just as everyone dies, because we all belong to Adam, we all had to suffer death, a fall. Everyone who belongs to the Most High Son, Yahweh Shai, will be given new life. All right. But there is an order to this resurrection. All right. Yahweh Shai was raised as the first of the harvest, which is Yahweh Shai, the first fruits. Okay. Then all who belong to Yahweh Shai, all right, will be raised back when he comes. All right. Raised when he comes back. Raised what? Back. All right. We're going to be beamed up. And then, all right, at the end, all right, the end will come when he will turn the kingdom over to the Most High God, having destroyed every ruler, authority, and power. So we know that's associated with us being beamed up into the chariot. All right. So when we're beamed up into the chariot, all right, we ain't going to be having sex. We ain't going to be when we're resurrected back to the Father. All right. We ain't going to be looking for, where my, no, that when we come to the earth, ultimately is when all of that will play out. Okay. Because ultimately we know we're going to be resurrected back to life. Okay. Under Yahweh Shai, then the first fruits, and then the large multitude. But we ain't going to stay up there. Let's get Revelation 21. Okay. Let's get Revelation 21. All right. Because we're going to be beamed up. We know that that's in the scriptures. But then as you read here, Revelation 21:2, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, after we have been beamed up, crowned, have our, feast, with Yahweh Shai, just imagine that. Second Esdras goes into that, the second chapter. All right, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. How are we going to be a bride adorned for her husband? Because we're going to have those new bodies. All right, we're going to be in our perfection. See? So New Jerusalem is going to eventually come down to have dominion on earth. See? And when we have dominion on earth, as we're going to show you, we will be fruitful and multiply. We're going to have children. Okay? And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. All right. So ultimately, all right, again, Revelation 5, we're going to reign on the earth. See? And we're going to show you how that's going to take place and things that the scriptures show us, all right, concerning, how that's going to be played out and what we're going to be doing. Okay. Revelation 5:10, and has made us into our power, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. So the first aspect of us being resurrected takes place in on the chariot. So Yahweh Shai is saying here, for in the resurrection, either the marry or given into marriage, for they are as the angels of the Most High in heaven. So again, when we die and our spirits go back to the spirit world, we're in those bodies, we ain't, having sex. Angels don't, the sex doesn't take place in that spiritual realm. See? Sex and reproduction is to take place on earth. See? So as you go to verse 31, then he jumps to the fact that they don't believe, all right, that a person who lived and died, all right, can come back in a new body. All right. They don't believe in reincarnation. They don't believe in the resurrection of the dead. So he cuts them here saying, but as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which is spoken by God? Saying, now, mind you, their argument, when you read their doctrine and you understand them, is that nothing in the Torah points to a resurrection. All right. Nothing to a Torah points to, you living again. Right. So Yahweh Shai here says, but as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by the Most High? All right. Saying, I am the God of Abraham. All right. and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. All right. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Now, what does he mean by that? All right. You have to understand. Let's get real quick. Let's get it. Let's get Exodus 13 and 15. Okay. So let's get Exodus 13 and 15. Right. And please get to the end of the video before you listen, put it, because we got to get through the whole thing so you can understand where we're going. Exodus 13 and 15. All right. I mean, not Exodus, I'm talking about Genesis 13 and 15. Salakia. Genesis 13 and 15. All right. The Lord tells, all right, Abraham, let's start at 14. And Yahweh said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up thine eyes and look, all right, from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. Look, all right. Of course, he couldn't see the land, but all of those directions, this particular land was going to be given unto him and his seed. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. So to Abraham, it was promised that he would receive it. See, so how can he receive it? All right, if he's dead right now, right? So he's going to be resurrected as well. All right, let's go to Genesis 17. Right? Genesis 17 and 8. All right. This is the Lord saying it again. All right. Genesis 17 and 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land where then are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession. And who was that seed? That seed was going to be Isaac. The same thing was said to Isaac. Okay. See if we can find it where it was said unto Isaac. Should be coming up. Maybe here, Genesis 28. All right. Basically, we know that Isaac was the heir. Okay. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him. Genesis 28 and 4. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land. So to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right, it was promised, Genesis 35 and 12. I know that's one. It was promised to them and their seed that they would have that land. Genesis 35 and 12, in the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed after thee. So if the Most High is a power that cannot lie, how exactly is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob going to receive the land if we know that their bodies were buried? See, so Yahweh Shah is cutting them. Let's get a scripture here. Abraham. All right. So he's cutting them. Here it is. They're saying in the Torah doesn't point towards a resurrection. So wait a minute. How is there no resurrection if clearly it was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob they're going to get the land? They have to be living to be on the land. Hello. All right. This is Matthew. Let's see here. Matthew. Boom. Let's get this one. Let's see. Was it Matthew? Matthew 8 and 11. All right. And I say unto you that many shall come from east and west and shall sit down with Abraham, all right, and Isaac and Jacob, all right, and they're going to be in their positions, all right, all right, in the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So going back to what, again, right there, it shows you that they're going to be in the kingdom of heaven in some capacity. They're going to be there. All right. Luke 13 and 28. And there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when ye shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom and yourself thrust out through. Okay. The 2/3 ain't going to be a part of that first resurrection. Again, there's a first resurrection. See? And that takes place when we're raised, all right, beamed into the chariot. All right. Some are going to be literally raised from the dead and beamed up. Some are going to already be alive, but ultimately the purpose is to go into that chariot. See? And what takes place on that chariot, as Paul talks about, is we're going to put on the heavenly. We've borne the earthly. Now we're going to put on the heavenly. We'll get into that. So going here, just to finish this off, and then we'll get into the lesson. Yahweh Shai went from talking about, the resurrection, the final resurrection, or the resurrection, when your spirit, goes back into the heavens, all right, to the spiritual realm. He was just messing their heads up. Then he said, as touching resurrection of the dead, which they don't believe that. See? Have you not read that which was spoken by unto God, unto you by the Most High in your Torah, basically, that you want to strictly believe in, saying, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So again, how are they going to get that promise if they are not going to live again, that they're going to inherit the land, they and their seed? How? So the Sadducees were cut, all right, and through and trying to trap up Yahweh Shai and end up themselves getting absolutely decimated in the spirit. Now, let's go and get a few scriptures here. Now, let's